Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Logo Design Bootcamp. This is episode number 14. My name is Steve Looney from GraphicDesignerTips.com, and every week I produce a new episode for you to learn from. I design a fictitious logo, and in the end, you will become a better graphic designer. Today's episode is based on the letter N, and since I'm from Long Island, New York, it's only fitting that I do a topic based on the nautical theme, because that's huge around here. I mean, I have one of my rooms in my house. We call it the beach room, so because it's just strictly for nautical stuff. So the logo you're going to be learning from today is called Nautical Noon, and it's a cool logo. And I'm going to critique it for the next 10 to 12 minutes and show you how to build it in Adobe Illustrator. Let's go. The Nautical Noon logo is based on two different fonts. The first being Times New Roman, which is the blue, and the second being Bic Ham Script. And I'll put that below in the description. So what I did was I actually augmented the Times New Roman a little bit because it's actually boxy at the end, and I made the ends very pointy. And I'll show you how I did that in this tutorial today. That's one thing you're going to learn. Aside from that, I also had this kind of we have the three different colors. We have the nautical colors of the blue, the red, and the gray, and I also added these little waves right here on the bottom left and right as to kind of depict the whole, the beach basically. So we got this lighthouse, the wave, and then we have the beach, and it's a very well balanced logo. Everything is nothing's too heavy to one side or the other. That's my style in all my logo designs. And I also put not a shadow, but it is a shadow, but not using the shadow effect. And I'll show you how I did this shadow behind this word nautical in this video. So let's jump into it. Now we're in Adobe Illustrator CS6, and this logo probably took me about an hour and a half to do, so I'm going to do this in about the next 15 to 20 minutes for you. The first thing we're going to do is come up to our type tool, and hit T on the keyboard, and we're going to type in the word nautical in all caps, and we're going to hit escape to get out of that selection, and we're going to size this as I had it, and we're going to come up to type, create outlines, or shift command 0 or O, excuse me. Hitting the A on the keyboard, we're going to come to our direct selection, and we're going to erase that T and I, and we're going to move the CAL over. So now we have the word nautical, and it's all outlined. The next thing is, I'm going to fill this with black, this is an anchor that I drew that I replaced the letter I with. And basically, if I have to show you how to draw this anchor, it's going to take a while. So you can just basically copy over what I did if you want to screenshot it and do that shape. But now that I have this word I'll just say nautical without the T in it, we're going to select the entire thing, and we're going to go to Command G. So now it's a grouped selection. And what I'm going to show you now is how to do the gray shadow in the background. Now, basically, the gray shadow is not actually a shadow effect. It's just a stroke effect. And what I mean by that is we have the blue, and I do this in every video pretty much. We have the blue, and then behind the blue we have a stroke of white, and then behind the white we have a third layer, which is a stroke of gray. And I'm basically going to fill my entire selection with a blue gradient that I made up myself. So, figure out your own gradient using a navy blue to a darker navy blue. And we're going to go to Command C and Command B because it's going to paste it right behind it. And we're going to add a white stroke to that. We're going to add a couple points. Now, we're going to go to Shift C and Command C and Command B. We're going to copy it and back again. We're going to put about a 30% black on it, and we're going to just shift it over by nudging it with the arrow key to the right. So if you notice what happened there, that's the effect that we got. And you know what? Let me come back up here for a second and round the corners on the white. And when you're done using that, hit Command 2 to lock it so you don't select the white again, and then on the gray. So it gives you that nice little effect on the edge right there. And now we have the word nautical in our different shadowing. So now we're going to create this lighthouse, and this is a very simple thing to build. It's just a bunch of Pathfinder stuff. We're going to draw a shape just like so. All right, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to fill it with black. Okay, and now I'm going to come up here to my ellipse tool. I'm just going to draw an ellipse like this. And I'm going to now come to my pen tool, and I am going to kind of just free hand this 1, 2, 3, let's see, 4 points, and kind of get it to contour around that. I mean, there's a number of ways you could do this with the Pathfinder, but this is the quickest way. All right, so now I kind of got the shape of that, and I'm going to now show you how to make this little arc in here, which is actually gives it dimension. And the way that you do that is we're going to copy this over here. And I'm going to actually fill this. Well, excuse me. I'm going to Option, click, Shift, and I'm going to copy another one on top of it. And the back one I'm going to turn to like a light blue fill. And I'm going to show you why I'm doing this. The reason why I'm doing this is when I subtract this black from the front, from the blue, that's what the blue is going to look like in the end as a shape. So this is where you can kind of mess around and figure out what you want. So now that I have what I want, I'm going to select both of these, and I'm going to minus the front, and now I have this shape. We're going to take this shape, and we're going to put it right in here, and we're going to fill it with white. Okay? And for the top windows, you can either freehand do this with a pen, or you can mess around with the Pathfinder. The choice is yours. But in this case, I'm just going to do this like so. I need the Pathfinder anyway. See that. I'm going to copy these over by hitting Option Shift Click, and we're going to reflect them using the Reflect tool. That's kind of like a free form of that. The last thing I did on the lighthouse was I just made a rectangle. I filled it with white, and I made the top points kind of flare out like that. It's too wide, so I'm going to do that. And while I'm on top of this shape, well, actually, you know what? This circle and this shape, select those both, and we got to unite them. So now that's one shape. And we're going to have to minus that front, this shape from the top now, from the back, excuse me. So we're going to do that by going to minus front. And if you notice, when I minus front, it popped the entire image forward. So we lost that arc that we did before. We got to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back, or Shift Command Open Bracket, and now we have that lighthouse. We're going to fill it with red so you can better visualize this thing, and we're going to move it up right into the middle. Now we're going to make this little shape right here, which is very easy to do with your pen tool, and all you have to do is just kind of go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Okay, and then mess around with your anchors to get your desired effect that you want on there. All right, but I'm going to use the one that I had because it looks really nice and it took me a while to do. Believe it or not, stupid little things like that, they can take a long time. All right, so now I am going to show you something cool. All right, I want to select this anchor, but there's too many points around it that I'm going to select on accident. So basically, and even though these are all grouped, you can still do this. We're going to take the entire, with the direct selection, make a marquee around everything but the anchor. You can get close to it, but don't get too close to it. We're going to go to Object Lock Selection, or Command 2. And now we're going to do the same thing from this edge to that edge. And we're going to go to Command 2. And now, basically, all we can select in here is the anchor, which is awesome. That's what we want. So now, with the direct selection, it must be the direct selection. You select everything, hit the letter E, which it's going to get your transform tool. And now we're going to be able to change that just like so. Just like I did. That was actually, that was the last thing I did when I did the logo, like literally the very last thing, because I thought it would be cool if we tilted it a little bit, change it up. And now I'm just going to create the sand by taking this shape right here and going to Option, click, and shifting it over. Putting that color in here. Changing the size, and we're going to copy a few of these over. Let's see. Kind of like so. And I could always mess around with these later and move them, reflect the whole area. All right, cool. The last thing I'm going to do here, actually there's two more things I need to do. These shapes in here, basically same deal. Come in here with the pencil and do whatever kind of a shape you're looking to do. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And basically we have a gradient from black to white going on here. Do black at the, let's do black at the top. And all you're going to do is you're going to come into transparency and go to multiply, and you're going to take your opacity, bring it down to like 20%. And I'm going to mess around with these points to get it to where you want it to be. And now we have this problem going on in the middle. And the way that you would solve that is by taking your pencil. I'm going to make 3 shapes. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do the Pathfinder 3 times. 1, minus front, minus front, minus front. Okay, so now we have that shape. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here, type in the word noon. All right, let's see, what did I do here? And it's called BIC, B-I-C-K, Ham Script Pro. And we're going to overlay it like so. We're going to create outlines, going Shift-Command-0. Oh, excuse me. We're going to put the dark gray in there, and we're going to go to Shift, Command-C, Command-B, just like before, and we're going to put a white stroke on it that's nice and thick, so it bounces it off the entire front. Now what I purposely did was, you see where this ends right here? I purposely had it hidden, and I'm going to move everything like so. Now I'm going to pull this up real quick and show you the difference what I did to the actual Times New Roman font. I'm going to put this right above it. If you see what I did to kind of the corners, it's very boxy on here at bottoms. I basically wanted to smooth that out a little bit and make it, my own font basically for this. So we're going to come, basically what we did was, what I did, basically you want to hit minus sign on your keyboard, and it's going to come to the minus, well, the delete anchor point tool. And we're just going to start deleting anchor points. There's one right there. And all right, we're going to keep that. And it's not about just deleting anchor points, because after you do that, like, I don't like that right there. That's not very curvy to me. So now that we have our direct selection A on the keyboard, we're going to click a point, and we're going to mess around with that curve to when we get to where we want it to be, where it doesn't look too messy. There we go. And you're going to do that on every single letter until you get, something that looks all cool like this.